guys, welcome back. This is Ray again from Chipmunk Robotics. Today's session, we're actually going to cover one quick AppScript example about how to group import CSV files. So the native Google Sheets functionality for importing CSV files is, like you can see, is one by one, right? So, but oftentimes we receive tens of and sometimes hundreds of CSV files in the same format, which we need to group together. And one way you can do it is by doing copy and paste or by import the files one by one. But of course, with appsscript, we can write a script code to automate all those together in one go. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. Before we start our coding, like our previous sessions, let's first look at what kind of a CSV file we're dealing with. So let me open up the first one, and you can tell this is a very simple CSV file I made for the tutorial purposes. I only have two columns. The first column is ACH amount. The second column represents the vendor numbers the ACH is going to. And for the training purposes, I simply copied the first CSV file and made all 19, like another 18 of them. So total I have 19 CSV files in this folder. And I put all the CSV file in a folder called CSV trial. And with that, I think we can go ahead start our coding. So now let's go back to this file we have and open the AppScript tutorial editors. And I will go ahead and create another script called, let's just say, group CSV. So, and in this, we probably need to write two functions. For one function, I'm just call it simple, CSV sum. This is where I can call this function to execute my other function to sum up all those CSVs. And another CSV function, I probably can call it grep CSV. And in this function I'm going to write, I probably need to pass the variables such as the Google Drive's folder name. In this case, I put it in the folder called CSV trial. So I will just pass CSV trial folder name in this. And later on, I will write a function called grab CSV. So let's assume after I finished the function, I want to give a notification to my user saying all the CSV files are being summarized. I probably need to give them a browser message box. And I will simply say successfully grouped all CSV files stored in the CSV trial folder. With this, I can basically start writing the real function where I can grab all the CSV files. So now let's start write our function grab CSV. So I will name this group CSV and I will pass the folder unique name here. And for this function, I definitely need the folder being a variable. So I can, my folder constant. Here I will use the built-in Google Drive application within AppScript. So it's Drive app and get folder by name. And then here I can basically pass the folder unique name I will use next. So and constant here, and I'm not just retrieving the folder, right? I need to retrieve all the files in that folder. So I will name all the files, basically being the folder get files, and I have all the files retrieved. So I basically also need to consider which Google Sheets I want to pass all the CSV data at. So I think I would just use the active Google Sheets whenever the people click the button. So my variable for this would be sheet app and get active sheets. Actually, I want to get active spreadsheet. Get active sheet here. So now I have all the variables ready for us. Earlier, I was a little bit hesitating because I think I might have missed something. So let's go back to all those CSV files. I think one of the important thing we need to consider for all those CSV files is because I simply copy and paste in making all those CSV files, you can tell all the data are the same, but they all have the same title role as well, right? So the header, they all have the same header. So meaning I couldn't simply group import and append each CSV in the Google Sheet because I would like repeat the header if I do so. So I need to figure out a way how to skip the headers for all of the CSV files other than the first one. So to do that, I probably need a switch. Uh, for the moment, let's just call it title existed as a switch, and I will name this at equals false to begin with. With this, I think we can start writing our main um, for a while loop or for loop to go through and loop through all those files. Since we had covered the for loop before, so in this case, let's just write a simple while loop. So while files text, uh, I want to basically loop through all those files and pass all the CSVs um, based on the status of the switch. So what I can do is I can create another variable called file equals file, and I need to retrieve the data from the file. So I will say file Bob. And guys, if you don't know what those functions each mean, um, please Google it, right? Please understand why I'm using certain functions, certain built-in functions in my coding, right? So get yourself familiar with it. Don't just repeat. Don't just repeat the codings I have here. So here I will just retrieve all the data as string, and then I can go ahead pass the CSV file. I will just call it CSV for the moment. just use the utilities, build the impact CSV file function, and basically pass all those strings I extracted from the file. Um, and with this, I basically can start parsing the CSV file, but I need to know what is the last row, what is the last row of each CSV file, because I want the second file, like the file next, to start after the last row of the first file, right? So in this case, I can just name it last row, being active sheet, and just simply get the last row here. And because for some files, I need the file to skip the header. And for the first file, I need the header to be written to the Google Sheet. So let's just write basically complete or switch, right? So here I will just make an annotation saying skip title if it already existed. So here I would say if title existed, then I would say I will split the CSV using the splice function. Um, and my first title row is always the first row, so I can just splice doing this. And then what else I can do is um, if title existed equals false, I will flip it. I will flip it to true. All right, I think that's all I need for the flip, for the switch, basically. And now I will do the actual update of the CSV file. So I can just simply use the built-in sheets set values functionality to do the import. And I probably want to wrap it in a try statement because sometimes in real life, some CSV files might be blank, right? So if you have a blank CSV file, you probably want to know which file is actually blank or which file has data in it. So the safest way is always to use the try and catch statement to catch the blank files so you know you have a record. So in this case, I will simply do sheet get range. So I will get the last row. I will start with the last row of the existing Google Sheets plus one. And I will basically, let me look at my Google Sheets and think about how I can build this. So I have ACH here and I have vendor number here. And I probably, in the first column, I probably want the first column to show the file name. Like, so I know which ACH, which ACH CSV file the data comes from, right? So in this case, I will do this. So I will start having the data to populate all the file names first. And then for the length, it's definitely the length of the CSV file. Um, Here is the CS should be the CSV uh, first of the CSV's length as well. And here we'll just set values. I want set values for the file name, file again, function in here. So this way I will have all the file names populate basically in this row in the first column. And next I will actually pass all the CSV content. So here I will use sheet, get range, and simply I will just basically copy what I had earlier. And instead of saying it's the first column, we'll start with the second column, and then it will basically be the second and the third. Um, here I will set values. With this, I now complete the try part of the try and catch statement. So, and then I'm just gonna catch error for empty CSV files errors, for example. So I will just logger use the logger and log function within the built-in appsscript and say which file has the error. So I will get the file name has the error and say is empty or has other errors. So with this, we completed our code for those two functions. And let me save this and go ahead give it a try first and see how it goes. So I will clean this Google Sheets and go to extension and import the macros we wrote. And you can tell the two functions are appearing, both appearing here. We don't need actually import this one because this one is embedded in the CSV sum. So I'm just gonna add function for the CSV sum here and go ahead and give it a run. And let's run the script. So the script is running and let's now the message box gives me a notification you have successfully grouped all CSV files. I click OK and let's look at all the data we have. So looks like our script successfully grouped all those ACH files all together. I think the only issue is because it started with ACH file 14. So this row, this header is grabbed from ACH file 14. So that's why the first column for the header is actually showing the file name for the ACH file 14. We don't need that, right? We don't need to know the header row comes from which ACH file. So to update this, I think we just need to add one last script here and say sheet get range. I just 1 1 1 1 and I just simply set value of this to CSV file name. So basically to correct that header for the first column. Now let me save it again and empty this Google Sheet and let's give it another try. Let me run the CSV sum again. Now you can tell our CSV file name is being populated as the first column header. And that's it, guys. This is how you can group all your CSV files all together in one go by using this app script we just wrote here. And to prove out, we successfully completed the task. So let's simply do a quick pivot table uh, for this data we just created, right? So, and remember, I simply create those CSV files by doing the copy and paste. So all the CSV files should have the same values. Um, I drop the CSV file name here and look at the values of the ACH and also the value of the vendor numbers. You can tell all of those CSV files have the same ACH value and have the same, sum of the customer number, vendor number. So that means we have successfully group imported all the CSV files we have in that Google Drive folder. And one last thing for the code we just wrote, I just realized after I did all the for loops and the while loops and passed all the CSVs, I should have added another function called spreadsheet app flush. And basically, this function is basically flush out all the data still existed in the spreadsheet app. And this is just a cleaner way to handle Google Sheets app script. With this, we successfully covered our number 3 topic of the app script. In our next session, I will show you how to quickly leverage a macro reporting function within Google Sheet to quickly build some app script, such as the pivot table we just did, right? And then I will show you how to schedule some of your script so your script can run automatically. With this, thank you guys for watching, and like before, please reach out to me for your questions. You can email me or you can leave the comments in the video. Either way works. Thank you guys. Bye.